Right, hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. You're probably new because we've got about 3 subscribers, but today I'm going to try and be a YouTuber properly. I've got my camera at arm's length, well, my phone, and in that vein, on Boxing Day evening, after a couple of beverages, was scouring eBay, and I bid and won. Yeah. So what I did was bid and win on a 2006 Range Rover Vogue SE. It has 133,000 miles. It's the Jaguar V8, which is nice, and some service history. So yeah, in this video, I'm just going to introduce the car to the channel. I hope to do a few more videos on it, probably a bit braking, let's be honest. So yeah, let's have a little walk around and have a look. So as I say, it's a 2006 56 plate. It's got a private plate that will definitely be coming off. I bought it from a company called Cars with No Reserve Reading. Now, if you scour eBay a lot, like I do, you'll see this company come up quite often. They seem to specialise in taking things out of dealer auctions that dealers obviously don't want to buy or warranty or have anything to do with, and then they sell them on eBay, with the deal being that you give them a £100 deposit once you've won. You take a trip up to Reading, they hand you the keys, you can do what you like with it, you know, take it for a really long test drive, poke it, prod it, look around it, and if you don't want it, they'll give you 100 quid back and send you on your merry way. But as it happened, when I had sobered up and I did come to view the car, I decided to take it. So let's start with the biggest elephant in the room. It's had later wheels put on it. I have no idea if they're genuine or what, if people even make reps of these, but they're not in the best condition. One thing that's apparent with this car, having stalked previous owners, is that it spent the last few years of its life in London. So you'll see that as you walk around the car. It's got so many blemishes and stuff going on. It's also been a bit Londonified or Chavified. So we've got non-standard grills on the side, tinted side repeaters, non-standard wheels. We've got a different grille, got black badges. I'm not sure if these were black from factory. I'm pretty sure they weren't. But yeah, so looking at the front, it's actually pretty good underneath. It's still got the tow cover on it, which a lot of these seem to be missing. It has got something going on here. I might be able to warp that back into place. Yeah, and you've got scrapes and scuffs. This appears to be some sort of sand dirt. I don't know where I got that from. Yeah, the paint here is sort of whispery and weird. It's almost like it's been polished through. We've got various scuffs that I think will polish out. Again, these not staying. Big scuff there. The wing mirror on this side is all weird. Like, you can see previous tape on there and current tape. And this is what they did to get it through an MOT for me. I've ordered another glass, don't worry. We've got some lovely mildew sitting on here. Lots of scratches around the door. Now, I'm not sure if these were factory fitted, these ones, these side rails, but I don't really like them. But the problem is they're really handy for getting in and out of the car. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. Because let's be honest, it looks better without, but I'm going to have a think about that. So come around here again, you've got, you know, corrosion shit on the wheels. They also are all really crap tyres, as in they're good tread, but they're just poverty spec tyres, which I don't like running on any car. Another nice big gouge here. Same story around the back here. Obviously, it being a 322, the gas struts had it. I've ordered more of those. Tailgate all works though. I've got a lovely smash light here, which, oh, still got some glass in it. Lovely. Bit of dirt on it because I have been driving it. Yeah, I mean, overall, the exterior is, I'd describe it best as used. It's tatty. There's a few bits I need to replace. Probably the most expensive bit of all is going to be that rear glass. There is a company that just sells the cover, but you have to like heat it and rip it off and stuff, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I'll probably leave that for a bit. The state of that, like, who the fuck owned this? Like, what are you doing? What? Are you trying to get in with a knife? Or, you know, how many sovereign rings did the owner of this have? Actually, to be fair, the sovereign rings would check out. Yeah. Right, while I'm on the exterior, let's open the door. Little known, but a lot of this is aluminium, but the main monocoque is steel, so that's where it rusts, and it's usually down here, and there's an example of some there. Now, actually, this isn't too bad. I could probably do that myself because it's such an invisible area. It doesn't matter if the paint job is a bit shit, but what it is it's this rubber seal here, which is designed to stop getting stuff in there. I think what happens is stuff just gets trapped down here and rust it. But the other side, I'd like to point out, I saw all of this before I committed to buy this car because it was that cheap. Yeah, that is not as good. And I would put money on it being worse down there because you've got another plastic cover down here covering things. So this will have to get properly repaired, cut out, everything. But there's no point me doing that now. I may as well just let it rot a bit more over this winter and see what I want to do next summer, because who knows, the car might have blown up by then. So right then, let's move on to the interior then, which I would say is probably, considering all this, it's probably the worst part. But, you know, here it is. So, no driver's side floor mat, but it has all the other ones. Now, the floor mats in these are horrendously expensive, even used, which I was quite shocked about. So I just thought somebody nicked all the mats, but no, it's got the rear and the passenger one. So I kind of feel like this was a trade-in, and the old owner did pinch a few things off of it to, I don't know, sell or whatever. But driver's seat is kind of as worn as you'd expect for a JLR product of this mileage, or at least a Range Rover this mileage, because you sort of have to lift yourself in, so these get a bit worn. Weird thing with this car is it is a facelift, but it has a pre-facelift interior. So it was built, the build sheet for it was like February 2006, but it didn't get registered until later that year, hence it being a 56 plate. So I don't know if they had a few of these crossover cars where they had sort of the older interior, maybe they were difficult to sell. Yeah, we have a little bit of paint on there. Remember that? This was all absolutely disgusting. I'll put some videos in now. Oh, what the previous owner obviously had a dog, because that's chewed, and there's also both the rear seat belts are chewed. Either that or their kids were fucking feral, and judging by the mess underneath the seat, that is very possible. But everything works in here except the driver's heated seat. That comes on for a few seconds and then just goes off. Yeah, I don't know what's happened here. The leather here's like been chewed or ripped by a dog maybe, so it's like holes in it, which is a bit shit. But again, I've got a dog, so I'm not that bothered. There's all this cleaning stuff, like they put back to black all over it, so it just became this big greasy metal. Oh, I'm going to go back round to the rear of the car, pop the tailgate. Remember I said about the paint? The paint, right? Just stay up for long enough for me to, thank you, right. Now in the back it really smells like, you know, clean up in paint aisle at home base. And there's a good reason for that. There's a very good reason for that, because someone has spilt a fuck ton of paint in here. I mean, I have no idea what's going on down there with the leaves and detritus and disgustingness. I think I can see some rust in there as well, but yeah, it's a bit stinky really, and I don't know what to do about that other than give it a really just big clean, which I may do at some point. Don't know how much people want to watch that on the channel though. Another thing missing, parcel shelf. That's a real big bummer, because these go for a lot of money, and I'm talking like nearly 300 quid for a black one, because they seem to be even rarer. So I'm guessing the previous owner removed that sharpish to get that sold, or the auction house, or somebody worked for the auction house. Now, being a Vogue SE, you get TVs in the headrests, rear heated seats, DVD player, all of which I can't really use. Well, I could use the rear heated seats if I wanted to, but for those to work, you need two things. Two things I don't have, and again, I think this is a previous owner lifting it out to try and get some money back for his probably very expensive ownership. What you should have somewhere, and I don't actually know where, to be honest, is both a remote control and some headphones. You can't really listen to it without the headphones, and you can't turn it on without the controls, what I've been told. So yeah, we'll forget that. I mean, it's 2022, we've got iPhones and shit like that, haven't we? So with these cars, the engine that everyone says to get is the TDV8, and I'm not disagreeing with them at all. I always try to look for the ones that people don't like or people don't want to buy in cars, and this is no exception. And I think this engine is actually quite a gem, and people don't realise it. I had the 4.2 supercharged in a Jaguar XJR. That car had done 206,000 miles, and the thing ran and pulled like nothing else. It was so mint. And a lot of people say that these 4.4 naturally aspirated engines, apparently a lot of the Jaguar tuning scene like them because they can get some serious power out of them. In this, it's 300 horsepower, which is more than enough to keep this thing cruising along. I'm not going for 0 to 60 times. I'm trying to be comfortable and just have enough power to join motorways and things. But this is more than powerful enough for the size of car, I think, and the type of car. Now, the reason I didn't go for the TDV8 and I chose this was, well, there's several reasons, and I'll go over those. You save a good couple of grand buying one of these over a TDV8 because people are scared of this engine, scared of the petrols, because they do low mile per gallon, they've got 600 quid a year tax and all that sort of stuff. Now, I averaged about 15 mile per gallon coming back from Reading yesterday, and that was a mixture of country roads, cities, and some motorway. But it's only about 10 mile per gallon less than the equivalent TDV8 on similar roads, I imagine. I'm not going to try and say it's in any way as good as the diesel and economy, but one thing that I like about this is on the diesel they have common issues. For example, the turbos go, or the wastegates go. That's a body off job. It's like 4 or 5 grand, maybe more actually. So there's that to think about. Then there's the transmission. It puts a lot more torque through the transmission, so transmissions on the TDV8 seem to go more. Again, I think it's a body off job. It's just ludicrously expensive. So I've eliminated almost 2 of those problems. The transmission's still there, but if I can take a couple of those big expensive problems out, then all I've got to worry about is everything else on this car that goes wrong. Which, okay, the list is long, but it's doable, it's manageable for me. I can't do the turbos in this, I can't do the transmission, but I can do pretty much everything else on here. Now I've got the computer anyway, I pretty much can. So I'm back inside the car now. It's nice and warm in here and it's not outside, so that's why I'm going to switch this light off because I have no idea how strong this battery is. So yeah, I wanted to basically go over the purchase of this car, how I bought it, why I bought it, and what the experience was like with actually the company I bought it from, because they seem to be quite well known amongst us car people. And a lot of people want to avoid them. Think they're a bit sketchy and things. So I just wanted to sort of give my honest opinion of it. How I bought it really was around Christmas time is a really good time to look at stuff on eBay. Trying to buy a bargain car on eBay, especially one that's an auction, particularly one that's an auction. I look at when their ending times are, because quite often people don't realise and they set the end times at unsociable hours. So whether that be during a work day or really late at night in a working week, or early in the morning, and big bank holiday weekends or things like that. And Christmas specifically is quite good, because obviously no one's going to be looking at eBay on Christmas Day or even Boxing Day or Christmas Eve, except this idiot. And this was just one of the many cars I had on my watch list at the time. I've had so many 322s in the watch list, and I've had so many cars from Sterling Cars with no reserve, in my watch list in the past. So it was sort of inevitable that I was going to buy something, and it was probably going to be a 322. So yeah, I put a bid in of, I think 3.7, and the time I counted down, and I won it. I think I won it for just under 3.6. So yeah, like I say, the deal with the dealership is you go there with you after you paid the £100 deposit, and they literally threw me the keys and just said, go take it for as long as you want, poke everything, prod everything, check it out. And in their advert, they've got this sort of a copy and paste advert for most of it, which they put on all their cars, which basically says, if you don't know used cars, if you don't know what it's like buying old cars like this, basically don't buy it or bring someone who knows what they're talking about, because there are a lot of people out there who sort of still think cars like this should come with
you know, 2 years warranty and all this other shit, which is kind of why they get left at dealer auctions for people like Cars with No Reserve Reading to pick up. So yeah, I looked around it and I was happy with it. You know, I took it for a drive, and mechanically this thing feels spot on. It drives great. It's got way more power than I thought for 300 horsepower and a thing this fucking big. It actually moves all right. Gearbox is really smooth. The air suspension works perfectly as well. I just took some wheels out the boot that were really heavy, and the thing automatically leveled itself back out. It took about 3 to 4 weeks to pick it up, and that was basically because I opted for their MOT deal. You pay them £195, although they gave me a bit of a discount because I got this for £3,700 all in with the MOT. And they take it for a legit MOT, and anything that they need replacing for it, they'll do. So tyres, brakes, suspension arms, blah, blah, blah. As it turns out, the only thing they did on this was take that mirror on to get it through, and I think they might have changed the bulb in the back because I think a bulb was out. But other than that, oh, and cleared the engine management light, which comes back on, I'll get to that. But other than that, it went through with a corroded brake pipe and an outer CV joint that is not well, and hasn't been for a few MOTs, which is shows the caliber of previous owner. But yeah, to be honest, I'm really happy with it, and I'm really happy with their service. They're really friendly, really, you know, just down to people. I think they get an unjust rep because of their sort of big capital letters advertisements. You know, the cars that they're sending through, not all of them are working, although they list that. But genuinely, this is exactly what I wanted from a cheap Range Rover. It's got enough things to keep me busy on it, but there's nothing here that really scares me at the moment. I'm sure that I'll be looking back at this video in a few months and saying, why did I take that? Why did I say that? Anyway, so yeah, if you're looking at some of their cars and you want to buy one, I'd say, yeah, just go in with your eyes open.
Right, so that about sums it up for the actual car and my purchase of it and the condition it's in now. For the next video, I'm going to show the world how to add a little bit of value for not a lot of money. And in fact, I think I'm going to claw some money back on this car already. So, yeah, please do like and subscribe and share the video about and let other people have a look. It'd be nice if the channel had a few more subscribers, because it really does feel like I'm talking to myself on a bit of phone at the moment. But yeah, I will see you in the next video.